more months till the implant is healed or the graft is healed enough to
I don't know the story of you swallowing your tooth.
Do not. He's got
We're on,
rolling,
buddy.
dude.
We are on.
my God.
Why did I even tell you
No.
that? I don't even know why. That was a big mistake.
Oh, my God.
How did you swallow your tooth?
Are we ever going to start
Okay.
this fucking
No,
podcast?
no,
We
no.
started.
We started.
We already
We're
started.
rolling.
This is how they
You might want to
ambush
put that
you.
away.
This is how they ambush you.
This is a safe zone. You can
This
do
is
whatever you
no,
want.
red means
Safe space.
Yes,
Yeah, safe zone. Safe space.
so long story short.
Oh, God.
Hi,
as-
Carlene.
Hi, Carlene.
Hi.
Hey, Yanni.
Hi,
Hey, Nick.
Boo.
Jen Copeland.
Hello.
Dennis Friel.
Oh, thank you very
Hey,
much.
I just started this.
I love it. This is good.
Do you really
Well,
want to know?
You're a veteran now.
Do you really want to know?
You're a veteran of the show now.
Yeah.
Right.
I
This
guess
is
I
what,
am.
like your fifth episode,
I think
something
so.
like that.
Is that a
Something
good
like
thing?
That's I don't know.
No.
It's a great
Good
thing.
thing for me.
It's a good thing for me.
Okay.
How did you swallow your tooth?
Oh, God. All right. So, as everyone knows, as you get older, your body basically starts falling apart.
Okay.
And cancer for me didn't change much of that. So, after
Right.
cancer, I basically.
So when you got cancer, your body started falling apart?
well into months and months of chemotherapy.
Earlier.
Yes.
Early, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Well into a bunch of chemotherapy. I actually had issues with fillings and all kinds of stuff in my mouth where they had to pull teeth out.
Okay.
So recently, a year ago, I had a root canal that they did fall, like basically crack open. So to fix it, they got to go in and put a bone graft in, and you need 9 months to a year for that to heal. And they put a temporary tooth in. Then after that, they go in and they put the implant in, and you need 6 to 9 months for that to heal. And then they put the permanent tooth in. So about 3 months ago, my wife brought home the little soft salted caramel candies from.
Yes.
Oh my God, they're
Mistake.
so good. I unloaded the whole car, put everything away, and when I walked out of the garage to come back inside, I checked and my tooth was gone. And I called my dentist and he said, I can put another temporary in, but it'll be like $1,200. And I was like, nah, I'm good.
It's like on the side, right?
It's
You
on the
can't
side.
really see it?
And this tooth has,
I'd leave it out.
well, it's
If it were way in the back.
He has a
it has
little
reached
lift,
this
too.
tooth has reached its credit limit.
We got to
We're
make a new
done.
emoji for you.
I
then,
got
though.
$3,600 for each tooth in my mouth. This tooth is done.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
yeah.
I made a new emoji for you after that.
Yeah, yeah. You get your own emoji now.
It is not fun, but 3 months I'll have the implant thing put in, and then yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Whatever.
You know what Carlene just did?
What?
She just came and took my drink, and then she's not returning it.
She's bringing it back. Relax.
Thank you.
So do you want to start this thing off like correctly?
Your mouth,
Now,
Dennis.
no, I'm starting this thing off with Carlene being mad at me, apparently, is what's going on.
You sure do have a pretty mouth.
Here you go. All right, now she's sweet talking me. So, yeah, welcome to the Connected by Water podcast, powered by Joey Carty, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and fueled by our very good friends at Papa's Pilar Rum, who remind you never to be a spectator. I want to mention that John Van Dellen went to the brews room today and did not bring us back any wings. And since you were like running a little late, I thought for sure, I'm like, oh yeah, Johnny's bringing wings.
Drop the ball.
Johnny's bringing wings. And we were going to throw the W sauce on there, right? Because it goes so well.
Mhm.
Didn't
that.
happen.
But didn't happen. So
Didn't
sorry,
happen.
W sauce, who is our official magic cooking sauce of the Connected by Water podcast.
Next time.
We don't get to use
Next
you
time.
today.
On your 6th podcast.
On
Yeah,
my 6th
so-
podcast.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, my love. Appreciate you. So, yeah. So, anyway, we're going to announce our do-gooder of the week here. Our Starbright do-gooder of the week before we get rolling, because that's what we always do. And in case people are wondering, if
Thank
you're
you.
listening to the show for the first time, every week we announce the Starbright do-gooder of the week, and that entails a person of our marine community that is a steward of our conservationally minded environment, and they do good things like pick up trash when they see it, or they might go the extra mile and ride around in the coastal after they're done fishing and say, let's just clean up our little area. And this week's do-gooders of the week is Jim Veltri of West Melbourne, Florida, and Brandon McGraw of also West Melbourne, Florida, and he is also an Orlando firefighter. So we're going to announce them as our do-gooders of the week. So you win the bucket of Starbright goodies worth over $200, just for being a good steward of the environment. What's in that bucket there, John? Tell our audience.
Oh,
Tell
man.
the audience.
You got the
boat
reggae
wash.
sponge, you got your salt off, you got your boat wash, right?
Yep.
All the degreaser,
Oh.
and the fuel treatment, and all that. All those products are environmentally friendly, but very effective.
Mhm.
And it's very hard to find a product that is both. So there you go. Starbright.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Starbright.
much. So, how you guys doing?
Good.
We're good.
You know, this is, listen, I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to say and, a lot today because I'm like totally with my pals. This is an easy
Totally.
podcast for me to do because, we're just hanging. But I do want to talk about a bunch of things like, I just said like right off the bat, didn't I? I do
That's
want to
fun.
talk about things like the Bayless and where we're at with
Okay.
what's going on because we talked about it before last time you were on
Mhm.
the show. And there we go.
I've
What's
got
going on with the Bayless?
The 60 Bayless is well underway.
Mm-hmm.
Top side is on, and it looks like a boat now.
Yeah.
From the last time I was here. Delivery is expected. They won't really tell me, but I'd imagine we will be doing sea trials and putting a tower on it somewhere around November to December this year.
Okay.
I'm really happy about the progress, and the guys at Bayless are really hitting it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
We've had meetings here and there. We're into the part where we talk about the different rod storage options, galley storage, functionality of basically the way the boat's laid out, and it works with using it day to day. So it's in a good spot.
Okay.
I mean, it's been amazing just working with those guys and just being part of the whole Bayless crew.
Mm-hmm.
I've been fortunate to be with those guys for 5 years and get to work closely with all of them, and they're amazing.
Well, people.
John Bayless sometimes isn't amazing.
He didn't say that.
All right, show's over.
No.
This has
Cut.
been nice. Thanks
Oh,
for
wait a
joining
minute.
us, everybody.
John's great, man. But he definitely. It's funny because you get to work on a Bayless boat, and it's really his boat. He keeps tabs on us, and he's really like kind of like the father figure over the
Yeah.
whole deal. So it's not always sunshine and rainbows. He'll break it down the way it's supposed to be, even if you don't want to hear it.
As
Well,
much
I
as
mean-
should be.
Yeah,
You
it
know-
should
Yeah.
be for sure.
I mean, when you're arguably the best boat builder, custom boat builder in the business,
He's
or
right up
one
there.
of them,
Yeah,
right?
with there's a few guys up there. but
you
he
get
is
to tell
definitely-
people how it is,
Well, and he
right?
he
I guess.
and
right?
well, it's
Right check.
there's
Right.
only, I will say this, there's only a few companies out there that put their name that are on the tournament trail and fishing boats aggressively as like a company team, and him and the guys on Tar Heel with his son John Boy and all the people that fish on Tar Heel, as well as like all the guys from Viking that fish on their boats, the Viking demo boats, and Galati has their demo boats, and that's where you really find out what a boat's supposed to do and how it's supposed to do it. So we're really fortunate that John and his team is on the water as much as they are in Costa Rica, and then this spring in the custom shootout. So all that information, along with all the other Bayless captains, Richie on Sharkbite, Chester on Lights Out, Taylor on the Blueview, like we are all, Austin on the Max Bet, which they're getting a new boat this year. They have a Spencer now. They're getting a new 64 Bayless. We share so much information so fluidly that, I mean, we can change and adapt like super quickly. And it shows. I mean, Viking has done a great job. They're always, they're always at the top of they win a lot of money, but also for a boat builder like Bayless, like coming out 20 years old, like you see their boats competitive everywhere they go. And I think it's because we all talk and share information really, really, really well. So.
It's tough for me, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to actually, you introduced everybody today, so I didn't actually properly introduce everyone here.
You
once
need to
again.
introduce her.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so
She's
all
more
right,
important than me
But
and you.
well, I'm going to save the best for last in the introduction here. But so, John, you're no stranger to the show.
Mhm.
You were very close friends. Thank you for coming on again, Captain
Yeah,
John
man.
Van Dellen
Yada
of
yada yada. But
Singularis.
the missus.
Blah, blah,
Come
blah,
on.
blah, 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 blah. But the
Seriously.
The guest of honor today. The guest of honor today is Captain Jen Copeland. Hi, welcome.
Hi.
How
thank
are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So I'm really, really excited that you're here today. For many
super
reasons.
excited.
And I would say that you're finally here today because this is episode number 157. And I've been wanting to get you on this show since like episode 1, like really. And I know we never really, you probably don't know
That's
that,
what
but
most
you've
men
always
think,
been.
though. They're trying to get her on something when they first meet her from
Oh,
straight out
jeez.
the door. Hey, I had the same thoughts. I'm not saying anything. I'm trying to,
Oh my gosh.
I bring a nice bottle of wine.
I love that woman. I love that woman. I have
She
to keep
mixes
Where's
it
reminding
the
up.
myself.
Camus lady?
Yes.
Failure, my part. Wings and came is totally the way to her heart. You failed on all aspects tonight.
So I'm going to say the phrase, correct me if I'm wrong, and you're probably going to do that a lot today because I'm probably going to be wrong a lot today with a lot of things I'm going to bring up. But when it comes to production boats, I'm going to say, it's easy to say, all right, Viking, because it's a production boat. It's like top of the game and everything like that. When it comes to custom boats, it's a little harder to say,
Super hard.
oh, okay, this guy's the best or this boat's the best, because each one of them's a work of art, a
Right.
handcrafted work of art. So it's really tough to kind of say, oh, the Baylesses are all the best and the Spencers are all the best or whatever like that. Which I can have an opinion because every time I see a Bayless, I'm just like, man, that is the prettiest thing I've ever seen, but and we talked about the differences between the 90 and the 68, and for fishing, the 68 is probably the much better vessel because it's easier to manage.
It's worked out good
turn
for us.
and all that. So
I like it.
I like it too.
Jen, you've got a ton of experience with this. So, do you have any favorites that you'd like to call out, or like favorite boats that you might want to just point out that are worth mentioning in this conversation?
Well, I mean, I ran Vikings for several years.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of refits, lots of redos, a couple new boats. So I really do like Viking product for sure.
I think it's for production-wise, I think it's the best boat out there.
It is, absolutely. And soon becoming almost the only
Right, yeah.
production boat around. But I do enjoy Baylesses. I've fished on several Spencers also, Rybovich. I like the Bayless. I like the 68, but I'm really looking forward to the 60 also.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun, and it's going to be new, and it's. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Even though like the first 5 to 1,000 hours, 500, you're breaking a new boat.
You got to shake it down.
You got to shake it down.
Gotta shake it down.
With the boat thing though, I mean, for me, what I've seen is I've seen Hatteras and their team, in the late 90s and early 2000s, and John Bayless was a part of that stuff too. Like they had their season, and it's just like us in life. We all have our different seasons where we're up and we're down, and pretty much, I mean, Bertram's had it. Hatteras has had it. Now Vikings had it. Paul Spencer had it. Bayless now might be in that sort of spot. Willis boats right here at home. Yep. They've been there tons of times. American with the Schwest family and the Lacombs, they did it too. Everybody gets their season and everybody gets their time. So we'll.
I mean, how much responsibility of that, or reasoning, I should say, of that, is on the buyer? Right, you need a buyer to really go through with a good custom project, right? And if you look at Merritt, I mean, they're on what?
Merritt's been there too. Like they're right here next door.
Like Hull 100 something, like low 100.
Or Rybovich, right? They're only 100 plus years old.
I mean, I feel bad leaving people out because everybody's had their day, and honestly, Rybovich and Merritt have probably been the most consistent because they've been around the longest, and I don't think their products wavered. Much at all.
Definitely
and even now with
name.
Merritt coming out with the new Hull Billy and it's a wood boat, cold molded, it's beautiful. Man.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
we're lucky to get to
Alan
do this
Jackson's?
and see all that. I don't know whose it is, but I would imagine it's
I think
Alan
that's
Alan
Alan
Jackson.
Jackson's boat, right?
Yeah, it's one of our clients.
Yeah.
That's one of your clients there, Alan Jackson?
Blue Water. Nice.
Blue Water. By the way, if you need a chair, call Carlene.
I had all Blue Water chairs on every Hatteras
You're
boat.
rolling her eyes.
I did too.
Yep.
Call me directly, not the shop. At 954. No,
You want to know what I think the biggest thing about these boats is? Yes, there's always going to be an owner that has the money to put into a boat and buy a boat and purchase a boat, but it's the people at the time that are at the company working and putting their hard work into it and their heart into it, and that's what ends up building the best boat.
Yeah,
it really does. And that changes with the season too.
How closely are you working with those people when you're building that?
All the time.
Like what you mean? Is it like
all the time?
You living together kind of thing? Or like,
you just roll in there and be like, hey.
Yeah.
There's lots of hugs and
like.
high
What's
fives.
that like from a captain's perspective to build a custom boat?
I've built one Hatteras boat, and I built now this first one with Bayless.
Right.
The next one's on the order list, but
Which I guess that's kind of what I was getting at with like some of that is on like
the person relating with it.
the person shopping for the boat. Like you need a buyer to build a custom boat, right? I mean,
yeah, but you also need the captain
You
to
need the
like
captain and the crew.
100%. And that's what I
push
mean
in
by
the
the buyer. I
direction.
mean like the entire franchise of the thing. Like
Yeah.
it takes like that.
man.
So take me through that
Well,
process.
what did you do when you were at Viking before when you built boats? And what did you do? I mean, I have what I do.
They didn't much like what I did because
You shook it up. This is
ro-
what we're gonna do.
I just rolled in there and went in the downstairs and like walked right
Yeah.
in on the production line, and the sales guy's like, "Jen, you can't go there." I'm like, "I'm
Yeah.
already here."
Yeah, and that takes that too. I mean, but with me, it's just working closely with the guys. Like Anthony in electrical at Bayless,
Mm-hmm.
and you have Colin in mechanical, and then you have Bill in carpentry, and then you got Pete who does all the design and CAD, and John Boy who oversees kind of all of it with his dad. And I mean, it's a very, very fluid thing too. Like even today, like 2 phone calls today about this and this and this, 2 phone calls yesterday about this and this and this, and then Colin might call me, but it's a very wide open communication. Like I might get calls from everybody in their shop, like every department in the shop each day.
Mm-hmm.
And then it might be a couple of months till I hear again.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that we can keep it moving and we're so in touch with each other.
And you're flying up there?
Yeah, I fly up there all the time.
Yeah.
Which we got to figure out a better way to get to the Outer Banks.
You could teleport yourself.
Oh, God. No. Wonkovich.
Yeah, right.
No, I mean, I think it's communication, man.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
For
it.
sure. This is the abuse I take from
That's
her
what you have to put up with.
all the time. All the time. Never ends.
Happy Father's Day, Dennis.
Thank you very much. Yeah, happy Father's Day to you too.
Thanks, man. This is my first Father's Day at home in 9 years.
Really?
First one.
You're kidding me.
At home in Michigan.
At home on vacation with my family in Michigan, yeah.
Right.
First time Father's Day with your family?
In 9 years.
Wow.
And my oldest daughter is turning 13. So do the math on that. So I haven't been home at all for Father's Day for my youngest and once for my second oldest.
Yeah.
It's part of it.
So, I mean,
It's all part of it.
we talked about that before with
Yeah.
when you had Ben on, you're missing out on some like life experiences because like living that captain life. Do you find that that's an issue for you? I mean, you missing out on like things in life because you get pulled away and,
Yeah, I mean, you definitely miss out on things. But
Yeah.
you have to adopt your lifestyle. Like, is that what you want to do? You
Right.
have to be good with it.
Yeah.
But occasionally, I
Yeah.
look back and go, I don't have any kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's going to take care of me when I'm old?
John.
Pick me,
All your
pick me,
friends and
pick me.
all your friends.
Yeah,
Don't worry
Carlene
about
got
it.
you.
Carlene.
Somebody write that down.
Yeah. Can I get that in writing?
And we talked a little bit about, like when we were waiting for John while he was sitting there eating wings.
In the parking lot without you.
Yeah, right.
Listen, I
He,
got
Without
he
us?
did smell kind of
Yeah.
chicken wingy.
Yeah. I mean, we talked a little bit about it's it's the people that we bring onto the show are the people that are just following that path, right? And if anyone wants to know like how I choose my guests on the show, there's really one criteria that you have to meet. And did you ditch the typical life to live this life?
Yeah.
Right? And are you following that path? Are you just saying, you know what? I don't care. Money be damned and whatever. This is the path for me. And it's all about being tied to the water in any way, shape, or form, and just being able to provide for the rest of my days that way.
Yeah.
And that's because the reason I do that is because that's what we did.
Yeah.
I mean, when I quit my day job,
Yeah.
that's where I came with the summation. It's like, man, I'm like pushing into the 40s, and I'm just like, is this it for me? Am I going to be behind this desk for the rest of my life? Am I going to be beholding to this boss? Am I going to be, just
Yeah, you have to do what you love.
Yeah, you got to do what you love.
If your life is going to be a happy life, you have to do what you love. And yes, of course, at times you'll be like, oh, damn.
God, she's my bartender. I got to put up with this shit. You hired me, man. at
Yeah,
any time.
Carlene was a byproduct of all this. I don't know.
I love it.
Apparently,
This
I
is the
showed up
first
and never left.
out of 6 or 5, 6,
What?
whatever. This is the first time she's here. with me.
Is it?
Yes, actually, I
First
think
time.
so.
We got the whole
I
spread
think
today.
so. I think
Hey,
you're
Yanni,
right.
fuck you too, buddy.
I love it. Love it.
I think so. I think you're right.
One.
Because
been-
every time you've
I've
come,
been getting ripped off.
It's because
Yeah.
Jen's here.
every time you've come,
She only
Carly,
came because she saw me on the thing.
I don't blame her.
you missed a good one with Ben.
With who?
With Ben Sharp, that
with
one.
Ben
You
Sharp
went
and
extra
I were
long
here.
with that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love
Yeah,
Ben.
I love Ben
I got
too.
chitlins, man.
yeah.
I'll take them.
Right here.
So, when did you know, like, this was the life for you, the pirate life?
Oh, God.
Probably after school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you always fish like your whole life?
I fished when I was little with my grandpa.
Yeah.
He sort of got me into it.
Where at originally? Like freshwater, growing up freshwater fishing like John?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Bluegill, bass,
Yep.
catfish.
Where about?
I was born. Well, I wasn't born. I was born in Missouri. My
Okay.
grandparents are there, or from there, and then we moved to Kentucky when I was really young.
Okay.
So, obviously, every time we went to
Yep.
Missouri to visit my grandparents.
When I graduated high school, one of my best friends, Brian Flynn, he had his grandparents were from Wisconsin. His whole family was roots in Wisconsin kind of thing. And he's like, we got to go to my grandparents' house right after graduation. We'll go for like 2 weeks. Let's stay, And he's like, they're only going to be up there half the time. And we'll go, we'll stay there. And they got a little boathouse in the back, and it's on the backwaters of the Mississippi River and all that. And we'll go fishing for every day, 2 weeks straight. And I'm like, all right, it's not offshore, and all that. And I was kind of poo-pooing it a little bit, and he talked me into it. And I got to tell you, that was like the best trip of my life.
Fun.
Yeah, and it was for 2 weeks straight, and it was just the two of us up there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like to the point where it was my first experience in that part of the world. And once we got up to Wisconsin, you got these roads that you see forever.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a little speck on the horizon. It's another car coming your way. And he's like, watch. He goes, you got to wave when they pass. I'm like, what? I'm from South Florida. Nobody waves unless you're on the water.
Yeah.
Right? And then, right. It's Carly Knoll. That's Carlene's South Florida high sign. So sure enough, we pulled up to this car, and there's people were just going like that, like waving at us. It's like a different part of the world. So
it is a different.
but it's cool. And we're 18, and you can drink in the bars there and all that. And so, but that was a lot of fun. And we were just catching bluegill and catfish all week. But it was like going through all the creeks and all the stuff up there. And yeah, that was a blast.
That's the favorite.
Probably a good way to grow up.
Yeah, it's a great way to grow up.
Yeah.
I mean, I just got back today, from Western Michigan, and we bass fished all week.
I'm just trying to catch a bass, man.
Yep. we got a take a little phone call right about now. Is that all right?
Take a little phone call.
You're gonna tickle a
I don't know
phone
who
call?
this is.
Well, you don't know who this is. I know who this is.
All right.
What are you doing, my friend?
How you doing?
Good. Another, beautiful night in paradise. All the storms missed us today, so it's actually beautiful up here.
You still have tornadoes going on up there in the St. Johns River?
Yesterday, but today it's just Chamber of Commerce Day. The
Okay.
day they want to sell you a house up here.
All right. Perfect.
So how you guys doing?
We're pretty good. I got our friends Captain John Van Dellen and Captain Jen Copeland on with us today.
I know that you have Jen on there, and that's why I'm calling.
Boy.
Uh-oh.
You're saying
Stranger
there's a
danger.
chance.
Stranger danger.
Stranger danger.
Put your pork chop away, Mike.
How
Put
you
your
doing?
pork
Good
chop away.
Hello.
So I have a question for you, Jen, that has been unanswered for years. We went fishing one day out of Hopetown.
Where
on the
are
last
the beads,
dance.
Mike? Where are the
Jen,
beads?
where is my magic corn?
Where?
Where was my
I don't
magical
remember eating any corn.
necklace?
I thought they were beads. They were corn.
Well, they were beads, but there was a piece of corn on the end, which I understand is some sort of a beetle cocoon that is highly worshipped in the jungles of the Darien rainforest.
I don't know about all that, but I know he took apart several heads trying to find said necklace.
We took apart the entire boat.
I know.
That was the second time in my life I'd ever been seasick. and I
It was
in the
flat
head.
calm, if I recall.
It was. It was like 10 to 12 with curls. I remember Red was fishing like maybe 300 yards away from us. We couldn't see him when he was on the freaking tower. It was awful. And it wasn't even a tournament day. It was supposed to be fun.
Yeah, well.
Let's go fishing. It's fun, they said.
Didn't you have a bit of the rum flu also?
We probably did. I'm guessing we probably did. But I remember when I finally got my footing and I walked outside, and our really good friend Eric, God bless his soul, had just lit up like his third cigar of the morning. So it was probably like 9 o'clock, and I walked outside to get some fresh air, and I got that big old waif of that cigar in my face, and it's like, oh dude,
you immediately lost your cookies.
I need the kitchenette, a bunch of pillows, and you remember Brandon?
Yes.
Thank you.
Robert was calling you guys saying, "Hey, is
he okay?
Ryan, is he even with us?
I think at one point he was like,
okay?
"Is he on the boat?" And we're like, "Yeah."
And Brandon goes, "Yeah, he's downstairs watching a movie." I'm watching a movie. I was watching like The Boogeyman or something. It was freaking horrible.
The Exorcist.
He was curled up in the head, like begging for us to go in.
It was horrible, but I got to say, Jen, that's just one of the most memorable days of my life, and we've had a bunch together, and I'm like herding cats up here right now, but I just couldn't help but call and say, "Where's the magic corn beaded necklace?"
We should call Brandon and ask him.
Right? You know what? Right. The last time I knew, Brandon is doing well. He's married. Or was married. I think he's married.
He's definitely married. I just got a text from him last
I knew
week.
He's doing well. He's married.
He's definitely married, and he's definitely doing well.
Is he? Okay, so he's married.
Yes.
Where is he?
He was up north somewhere, but rumor is he might be coming back.
Okay.
He opened up a beach shop.
Yeah.
This was a magic. You know what, Jen?
What?
Every year I go down there and I go into the duty-free shop right next to the airport in Penis Bay.
And you try to find your replacement set?
Can you buy beads and think of Jen? This is getting weird. I got my daughter in the studio, Mike.
I've got a very poorly carved marlin. But I try to explain it to them. I said,
poorly carved marlin.
It looks like corn. And they look at me and say, "Yeah." And they point me to a scarab. No, it's not a scarab. Damn.
We should have taken a picture of it.
Oh my God, Mike.
I probably do have a picture of it somewhere in the archives, but I probably also have carved out dolphin eyes on my head laying on a deck. I do. That's where I have it. I'll send you guys a picture.
Send a picture.
Send me a picture. I'll put it on camera.
Mike laying on
It took me, I don't know, like a half hour to clean those eyes up enough that I could put them on my own eyeballs and lay on the deck.
You said deck, not dick, right?
Yes.
I'm far away.
Well, actually, it was Richard that had the dick. Okay. I may not have. Oh, yeah, you're breaking up.
Yeah.
Gotta go. Sorry, gotta go.
Truth comes out, Mike.
But all I want to do is hear Jen say two things.
Oh, God.
Y'all.
Yes. Y'all.
Okay. No, come on with your accent. Y'all.
What are y'all doing?
There you go.
And shut your mouth.
How about y'all shut your mouth?
See?
Y'all shut your mouth.
Hey, Carlene,
Shut your
I love
mouth.
that back there. You ain't talking to your daughters here. I'm trying to get. If you talk to Jen long enough and you hear that drawl come out, okay, and you got those piercing eyes coming through you, it's almost melodic. It's almost like watching a Disney movie without the little birds and stuff flying around. Because in the next sentence, she's going to say something like, I'm not even going to say
Yeah,
what
I didn't get all
Hey,
that.
Mike,
Hey, what are you
You
smoking,
It is
Mike?
breaking up.
Carlene already told me that I got a pretty mouth.
You keep running your mouth there,
You know
Carla
what?
Jean.
That's why we go
I'm
camping,
gonna let
Dennis.
Mike
That's why we go
take you to
camping.
the back room and
You
scream
thought it
with
was
his
going to be a
special
canoe
corn.
trip.
Right.
What could possibly go wrong with this?
Exactly.
The producer is saying this is going downhill quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll let you
Alright,
guys
no
go
longer
back
could
uphill.
Yanni,
but-
Let my
Yanni's
wife
giving
watch
us
this
the cutthroat.
podcast.
As a matter
Yanni's
of fact,
giving me the
he just
cutthroat.
said I quit
Oh,
and we would
Yanni,
have.
Only a special corn,
Yanni,
Mike.
cut this. Come on, guy. A guy with your type of hair, you're looking over there behind. If I had your type of hair, Yanni,
Sweet
I'd be in
child.
front of the freaking camera. That's all I'm saying right now.
Catherine's scarred for life.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, you guys, listen. Have a great show. Have a great night. Miss you, Jen. Hopefully, I get to see you at ICAST. Eddie, I'll talk to you soon. Love
Mi-
all you guys.
Miss you too.
See
Love
you
you
later,
also.
Mike.
Bye bye.
Later on.
Oh my God.
That was funny.
Did you line that up?
No. So he just called.
Completely organic.
He knows. Listen, this is what Mike does, right? He knows when we're on, and he knows who's on. So he always goes, okay. I know they like to start the show at 5:30. He's like, but I know they never start the show at 5:30. And he'd be like, they're probably past their do-gooder stuff. And all right, here we go.
My
And he's
turn.
just got the knack of calling like right at the right time.
It's
So,
perfect.
yeah. So no, he just calls. Like sometimes he'll call, sometimes he won't call, sometimes
Yeah.
he's busy, he can't call. You know what I mean? But I mean, he knew you guys were on, so
No, she was
wanted to
on.
make sure. Yeah,
That's good.
yeah. So that was cool.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. Mike's good people.
Mhm.
Yeah, he
I love him
really
to
is.
death. Uncle
Very
Mike.
much so.
Yeah, Uncle Mike. So, what's with the beads and the corn and stuff? Can you elaborate on this a little bit?
All I know is we were in the Bahamas. We were going fishing. We were all there, like me and Myatt and his wife and the kid matey boys and
Mm-hmm.
Captain Robert. Load up, we're going. Okay, great. I don't remember it being that rough, but I do remember going, where the hell is Myatt?
Mhm.
Everybody was like, where is he at? Where is he at? Head door closed, locked, nowhere to be found.
I love it.
Oh.
Yeah. He
I
was
love-
pretty sick. And then when we got in, he was like, my beads are missing. And we're like, what? We turned the boat upside down, and finally it was, you had to dig into the heads.
Really?
Never found.
Never found.
Never found.
Yeah, now I know what to get Mike for Christmas.
Yes. With a badly carved marlin. Also.
Yeah,
Badly
poorly carved marlin.
Not a scarab.
I actually remember those marlins from the gift shops, like on the waterfront in Cabo.
Right.
Like the little
Yeah,
necklaces.
same everywhere.
Same one everywhere.
Yeah.
From Panama to Cabo San Lucas, it's the same marlin.
And they're like, oh, it's unique. Yeah, no, it's not.
Oh my God.
No.
Dude, you know what the biggest scam going was? Well, my wife and I went to St. Lucia once, and we're leaving the airport, and we're already past like passport and customs and everything like that. We're just literally waiting to go out the door, and they're selling rum and they're selling whatever, and I'm thinking we're good at this point. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I freaking bought a bottle of rum,
They took it at the
and I
gate.
literally walked 20 feet, and they take it from me.
Mm-hmm.
And the giver right
yeah,
back to
and
the
they're like,
front.
"Oh, sorry, you can't take that on the plane."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "What are you talking about? I literally just bought it right there." And he's like, "Yeah, no, you can't. You can't take that on the plane with you. You has to clear, customs and all this stuff like that." And I'm like,
I think it all depends on what it is that they need at that particular.
Right.
Like seriously.
And I'm like, "Are you telling me you're not grabbing this for me and walking it right back to the shelf?" The
Mhm.
biggest scam going.
It's a scam.
Come on, man.
So you're telling me I need to open up a liquor store or duty free in the airport of St. Lucia?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
I quit.
100%.
I finally show up and I quit. Okay.
But yeah.
Fuck you too.
But you have to do it in the ramp
She
to the
don't let it-
gangway to the plane.
Right.
If it's before
It's got to be
that,
a
they're going to
specific
take it.
location.
Yes.
By the way, for the record, she quits every day.
It's all good.
I don't show up every day too.
So there's that.
You never know.
Sometimes it works out.
It's not only you, Ackle. It's not only you.
So the boat's going to be ready in November. Are we fishing this sailfish
No,
season?
yeah. It will be here. I do not know if it will be here for the January tournaments in Palm Beach, but it will be here for the February, the Jimmy Johnson, and the rest of it.
Okay, so what's going on for the summer?
The summer?
Right, you just got back from DR?
No. I just did, which would be great to talk about, the two tournaments at Walker's Cay.
Okay, go ahead.
And Walker's Cay is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Carl Allen and his wife Gigi. I mean, it really was awesome, man.
I heard that a little birdie told me that power was lost for a little while.
So
and then but he made good on that.
He gave everybody a free night of dockage.
It's class act right there,
dude. It is.
That's a class act. That's a class act move that he did.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I'm glad that we're talking about this because it gives me the opportunity to talk about it. Because Carl Allen's a really good dude.
He's a great dude.
Yeah, and the fact that he brought everyone over there and they had the Walkers tournament and they lost power for a little bit, not even like all night, right? Just for like a little bit, and he spotted everyone that for the night. I thought that was a class act move.
Well, and like you talk about, like we just talked about, how do you choose this life? How do you do this? You got to do what you love. And, you know, Carl was very fortunate in life. He was very successful. He worked hard and he retired and he had a passion and he wanted to go find some treasure. He grew up at Walker's Cay and he said he bought the place. He had the means to do it and bring it back. And he's doing what he loves. So we all get to benefit from that. And the tournaments and the tournament director, I mean, everybody was great. I loved it. I mean, I think it's going to be just an awesome thing to have right around the corner from home.
I mean, they're building the accommodations now, right? So once that goes up, it's going to be a complete game changer.
Yeah,
right.
I'm not a spokesperson for him, but I'm a big fan.
Yeah, no,
Sure.
you don't. No, you don't have to be. Listen, Walker's Cay. That's a legend. That's a legend location.
Yeah.
It's a legacy location.
Yes.
It is.
Right? So the fact that he's resurrecting, it's a big deal. Whether you're a spokesperson for it or not, it doesn't matter. So talk away.
Yeah. So I guess the story on the housing is he has a bunch of places on the island, which there's spots set up. The foundations are there for duplex style accommodations. All the accommodations, I believe, are in Stewart right now, just waiting to be loaded on a barge and brought there. And then somewhere between November and January, they'll all be on the island, and they'll probably be like 16 to 25, units able to accommodate 4 or 5 people each.
Yeah,
so
that's outstanding.
And they're building new power plants down the runway, and it's cool.
Have you fished there yet?
No. Not since it reopened.
Not yet.
Dude,
huh?
It's good.
It's good, huh?
It's good.
So tell me why it's good.
I mean, the last, the bigger tournament, the Invitational, there are boats going left and right and out and, anywhere from 20 to 35 miles away from the marina. And they all had great fishing. The last tournament, which was smaller, like 18, 20 boats, we all stayed pretty much. I think the farthest anybody went away was 10 miles.
Right. I've never been there.
In the fishing.
So explain it to me like you're explaining it to someone for the first time. Seriously, because
just
I'm
10
supposed
miles.
to be going there in November.
Yeah.
But we'll see for a
Well,
situation.
10
It won't be rough or anything.
No.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
It'll be,
It'll be fine.
I know.
Oh, it'll be
It
fine.
might not be as optimal with the northeast wind.
We'll see.
But
those zebrafish might be biting though.
Right out front.
The wahoo will be biting,
Yeah.
and maybe you can bring Myatt with you.
Yeah, bring them. Don't put a lock on the head.
I'll carve my own necklace for
Magic
him.
corn. It sounds like a Burning Man festival. To me. Like, I want to break. I've never been to Burning Man, but Mike Myatt at a Burning Man festival would be his own tent.
Mike Myatt at a Burning Man festival would be a hoot.
Imagine?
I'm telling
They
you.
put the lotion on the skin.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Why did everything get weird after 9 o'clock? This is usually bedtime. That's why it's bedtime. Oh,
Holy
God.
moly.
No, the fishing was great. Right out front, out further to the left and the right. And also, like, we had days where we had took people, and I don't bottom fish that often. Like, it's something I've kind of sworn off of after years of running, like, head boats and charter boat fishing. I just do not enjoy bottom fishing that much.
It's not your gig, huh?
I don't like
You're
it.
not into the slow pitch?
Slow pitch. I'm not into the, like, cut and bait, dropping weight. I'm not into the mess and just I'm going for the big one.
Yeah.
But there's so many places you just can, like, I didn't even have numbers and we pulled up and it's like mutton, grouper, mutton, grouper. It's like, and it's right there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the potential is insane.
It's had no pressure for a very, very
right.
long time.
Yeah. It's a good point. It's a good point. See, from my understanding of walkers, it's like at that certain point where it's at, right above, Abco and all that, it's like it's got a little bit of everything, right? I mean, bonefish and permit and like everything like right there and,
everything, man.
So, I mean.
And you have some of the best hosts in the world from what I've seen the last 2 years going back and forth for that tournament. Yeah. They're great people, man. It's so much fun.
So you went there you said twice?
I did the invitational last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then we left, and then this year I did the invitational and qualifier.
Yeah.
And next year, the qualifier, they'll have the invitational, which is their bigger one. But the qualifier, I think they're working on, it's going to be a CBS Sports, the sport fishing, what's that called?
TV show?
Yeah. So, am I not supposed to say that?
I don't know. Say whatever you want, dude. I'm an open book.
I think it's going to be a sanctioned event for that.
You just can't talk about another rum company.
I would never.
Is there another one?
There is not
There
another
is
rum
not
company
another
on the
one.
planet. So you fish walkers before, like a long time ago?
A long time ago.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Yeah. What are you doing there? Everything all right?
Yeah, everything's fine.
I thought my vibrator was going off, but it was his phone, so I figured I'd.
What are you doing bringing that here?
Never mind.
I'm away from the kids. What do you want to give me? I get a second of silence over here.
I finally
my
get a
moment
moment
of
of peace and
silence.
quiet.
Give
and I'm
it to
like,
me.
hey,
So for the
let her
record,
roll.
for those of you listening on audio only, John is intensely staring at his phone right now for absolutely no reason. We're all wondering why.
Oh my God.
Drama.
Everything's gonna be fine.
It'll
It's
be
gonna
fine.
It's nothing that UPS and Bass Pro Shops can't fix.
Oh, put your
Okay.
phone down.
So
Then.
Jen-
I thought that continuous vibration. I thought was an emergency.
Where you been fishing, Jen?
Guatemala recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Guatemala.
Guatemala.
Well, we did speak a little bit about that before the show started.
We did.
And you accomplished something pretty cool.
I
down
did.
there, right?
Yes. I caught my first sailfish on fly.
Nice.
Actually caught two.
Big
Two.
Two
Nice.
for two.
So take me through that. How was that?
It was awesome.
Yeah?
It was. I really felt like it was the first time I ever caught a sailfish in my life.
Really?
Like that feeling was the exact same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
So how's it feel on the fly rod versus just, conventional?
It's similar, except for obviously the reel is
Yeah, the reels.
like you can't touch it or anything,
Yeah.
unless it's stopped. But the drag, I mean, you're fishing with J hooks, obviously with a fly, so the drag is set a lot tighter, and you're only dealing with one fish, right? So you have like the long teaser or the long squid chain way the hell out there on the right side, riggers up. Left side, you have 3 teasers out. One is a long squid chain. So if you raise a fish out there, the challenge is to tease it all the way from the long bait up to where you're
Right.
pitching the fly to him. Yeah. So
And the boat's
we
got to
saw
be
like
moving.
6 fish before we even got a shot at a fly.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, we had recently we had Rufus and Pat Ford on,
Mm-hmm.
and they went to the Galapagos,
Mhm.
and they were just all trying to just stripers on fly.
Mm-hmm.
And how many fish they had to raise to
Oh, yeah.
actually? I
Yeah.
think
To
they
get
only
one to
got like
cooperate.
6 fish,
Yeah.
and they raised like 100
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, it's
Well, I
absolutely
mean, think
insane.
about how long you have to keep a fish's attention
Yeah,
that far. That's a long way.
the problem that they were saying was that there was so much bait there in the Galapagos that the fish would come up and they'd be like, "All right, we're so full."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That there's so much bait here that
Yeah.
you know what I mean. To get them to actually bite the fly was
Yeah.
a real challenge,
Yeah. I think a lot of it is just instinct,
right?
Yeah, I mean, whenever you have fish that like roll up on the teaser and then they have a little snack and then they're gone, like that's a full fish, I feel like,
Okay,
because they're not coming back for anything else. They're like, oh, I got a little piece of it, I'm out.
right.
But then, I mean, you got to keep them interested, especially with the fly. And
Right.
it's not easy. It's not easy, but it's awesome.
I mean, what do you feel like you had to learn in that process?
Literally, it's one legitimate IGFA fly cast. One.
One,
Yeah.
yeah,
You don't get to cast that at once,
Yes.
and then you're done.
Yes. Like all the line is already stripped out to where you're going to land the fly.
Oh, so you're not doing multiples?
No.
Really?
You're not stripping. You're not doing any multiple. I mean, if you did all of that, you would end up catching the outrigger, the
Yeah, that's true.
enclosure,
It's
and all
true.
kind of other
Yeah.
stuff. So it's like everything's all stripped out. Your fly's laying on the covering board. Your rod is like on the cockpit, standing by with all the line, just like on the deck. And so when the fish comes up, you're literally like, get it out, put it in the water.
You're kind of dropping.
You're just like standing by. You're standing by and you're waiting for the captain to say cast.
Okay.
Because it's like very, very calculated when the teaser comes out, when your fly goes in. So it was a very calculated situation, but
I'm so happy you're talking about this. It really is the most fascinating thing to be like Billfish on fly. Like
the bite was so sick.
Yeah?
It was so sick.
Now, were you just fly fishing the whole time?
Yes.
Yeah. So you were on a mission.
Well, we had done a Marlin expedition, and then we stayed, me and my friend Debbie, David, and her daughter Laurel. All three of us were the instructors for that previous week.
Right.
And then
for Marlin University.
Well, for Marlin Expeditions.
For Marlin Expeditions.
Yeah.
All right. Gotcha.
So then...
Sorry for speaking out of turn there.
No, you didn't. So then our friend came in who is a student from a long, whatever. So he's getting, he's have become a really good angler. And we were like, hey, why don't we just stay a couple days because it's so good. The boat's available, blah, blah, blah. We did. And so Debbie and Laura, they fished 2 days with us, and then they left. And then Phil and I was like, screw it, all day, let's just try to catch them on fly.
Okay.
And we were like, yes.
Yeah, right.
And we did. Both of us caught two for two, and we were just like, one more, Terry, please, one more. But it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was great.
Take me through Marlin Expeditions a little bit. Like how did you get involved in that? Like, what's that like? I mean,
it's a product of Marlin magazine.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be Marlin University. So it's basically we book trips around whatever, anywhere, Australia, Cape Verde,
the world,
all the hot spots.
Yeah, the good hot spots at the good times.
All the places to be.
The places, yes. And then we basically get all professional instructors like me and Debbie and Laurel. Like Laurel is a slayer. How is she not on your show?
Right. Well, I don't know. You tell me. Hook it up.
Yes. Okay, I will. So anyway, everybody is divided into groups of 4 for the boat for each position. It's mostly dead bait, learning to dead bait. And then all the students rotate throughout the boat. So the instructor stays with the boat, and then so the students have an opportunity to fish with everyone during the week. And everybody knows when you're learning to fish, you want to learn from as many people as possible because that's why you get your own style. I might tell you something and you're like, oh, that's not working for me. But whatever Debbie told you, you're like, oh yeah, I'm down for that. So that's how you create your own
That's
style.
a really interesting way to look at it too, because you do learn from
everybody.
Everybody you fish with, really. I mean, we talk about all the time in the show till we're blue in the face about the bonding that goes on during a fishing experience.
Yep.
And, in the beginning of the podcast, we started talking about it. We're like, what is that? What is that? Like, what makes people like, hey, wave when you're passing on a boat, or, like, this to us is what Connected by Water is all about. But really, like, when you fish with someone, and particularly when you really get a nice fish or you have a nice bite with someone, and you kind of remember that forever.
Oh yeah.
A lot of these people are catching their first billfish.
Yeah.
That's
a special thing.
It's very special. I remember who was on the boat, where we were, what we did, blah 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 blah. Like everybody is going to remember that. And for me, not having any kids, I sort of feel like it's like I've put the kid on the bicycle with the training wheels and watching him cruise around, but now the training wheels are off, and when they pitch or hook, whatever, their own fish all by themselves, nobody screaming in their ear, nobody telling them what to do, nobody reaching over and touching anything, and they do that all on their own. I feel like my kid has got off the training wheels.
Love it.
And he's like,
that's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I love that perspective.
It's great. I love it. And a lot of those people that come, they jump on that camaraderie that this whole fishing thing is built around. Like, it's a brotherhood.
So this is the thing. Why do you think that is? I'm curious to get your perspective on
I don't
that.
really know why it is, because maybe you're sharing something that not everybody gets to share.
So we have a theory here, and I want to get your take on it, right? So take life in general, right? We pay bills, we go to jobs, we do all these things that we think life is, right? Some of us go to church, some of us think spiritually, some of us follow Zodiac, I don't know. Right? Whatever.
I go to church.
So do we. Yeah. Right? We got a church triangle here. It's all good. No worries. But I just want to speak for everybody. But with fishing and hunting, same thing. Right? Because fishing is hunting. Blah, blah, blah.
Basically.
Right?
Yep.
Why is that above and beyond the pinnacle, I think, of human achievement. Really, it's primal.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, and
Yeah.
it really is a deeper connection to the human soul.
Yes.
Is the way that, and this was we're 157 episodes in, and this is the investigation conclusion that we've come up with. Right, is that like, and that's
Let's go to court.
Let's go to court. Right, but I love hearing like the stories behind all that, the primal movements.
You can put an entire, and I've done my share of charter fishing and whatever, but you can put a group of people on a boat that have never met each other before, ever. And if you spend 1 week fishing with them, at the end of the week, you're friends with everyone.
Bam.
If not best friends. If not people that you want to do it again with. You know?
You're going to see that person that you spent that week with 40 years later. You're going to look them in the eyes and you're going to know that we did that.
It's like it was yesterday.
We did that.
Yeah.
But don't you think that?
But you're not going to look at that person you went on that bachelor party with, or that you hung out with.
No, you're trying to forget
worked
that.
With. Yeah, right. Yeah,
but you're trying to forget that.
Exactly.
The thing about it for me is,
wait a minute, we've had some good times, Jen.
We have.
We might not forget about.
Oh God.
Just saying. Okay. Next
Turn our
podcast.
mic off, please.
The thing about that with me is like hunting and fishing and like you said, putting people on a boat together. Like her and I just got to spend the whole season together with Greg Bogdan, Mike and Rhett, my boss, a bunch of people. Every tournament, all winter. Nappy. Love Nappy.
Yeah, speaking of Nappy, I'll never forget that 20-minute nap I took on the
Nappy.
upper bridge of the Bayless during the Jimmy Johnson.
Nappy is
me.
No, Nappy is one.
It was that good.
We're talking about Frank Naparano, Nappy, who is one of the former owners of Miss Annie, the charter boat out of. So he fishes with us now, and we get to hang out with him. He's awesome. He's a Vietnam vet and somebody that I've gotten to know him really well, and I've enjoyed the last 4 or 5 years getting to know him. But when you get to spend time together like that, it's like the same as like when I go deer hunting. I go with my best friend, Mike Kamen, and his brother, Chris. And it's like I spend a whole week in a deer blind with either of them. And it's like that is my sole focus all week. We're in a deer blind. We're focusing on one thing. And there's not many things like that left in life where it's like you're able to clear out the phones and the distractions and sit in one place and focus on one objective for that amount of time. So I think that plays into a big part of why it's so special and why we always remember it and why it's so special to us. Because there's not much, dude. Like
the unplug.
Yeah, just like in this podcast, I get a text message from 2 different people, and I'm trying to figure it. There's just so much. We have so much going on. There's so much communication. It's almost too much. And then earlier I said the communication's great. It makes things move so smoothly. But I mean, like
recently, we talk about this all the time. Like I got so wrapped up in the past couple of years, with running this business that
you don't get to go fishing.
I haven't been on the water. I haven't really. I mean, every now and then I get out. You know what I mean? But I'm trying.
You went fishing with me 2 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. It's been a while.
When's the last time you went fishing?
Jimmy Johnson.
Well, the last time we fished together was at that Jimmy Johnson. Well, last time I went fishing, I've been fishing like a couple weeks ago with Bouncer, you know what I mean? But it was like, it's not like going offshore and everything like that. We were going for like clown knives and peacocks and stuff like that. It's still fishing, but
it's fun,
yeah, but it's not like fishing like I used to.
Wait a minute, you're making amazing memories doing that.
Yeah,
100%. No.
I've never caught a clown knife fish. Just saying.
100%. I'm very, very happy that I went out. No. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
This isn't.
Let me get back to my point though, and this will help it make sense.
Yeah.
My point is this: it's not as often as I'd like it to be or it needs to be. Right.
Yeah.
And I was even just talking to Nikki before we started the show. Like, hey, when we go fishing, he's like, you're too busy. Right? I'm like, no. That's not how it is anymore.
Yeah.
Because I'm changing. I'm flipping my mind.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm flipping my head. Like, even though we said,
do what you love.
Do what you love and all that stuff. Well, that's part of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is part of it for me. So the revolution, let the revolution begin for me.
Yeah, I have an old guy.
Because I need to get reconnected.
I have an old guy in California who's been like one of those old school guys. He was in Cabo when there was no marina. He'd been to Panama and back to Cabo, and he's one of my old guys I bounce stuff off of. And he told me like 3 weeks ago, because I had some stuff in my head, he's like, it's about the quality of life while you have it, not how long you live your life.
Yeah.
He's like, would you rather have 60 good years or would you rather have 90 shitty ones?
Very true.
I mean, and I'm
100%.
like, well, I'm on there. That's what I want.
I'm
You
on
know-
the downslide.
Even though
Right.
you said, "Oh, when's the last time we went fishing 2 years ago?" But it's not like you haven't asked me 30 times in between that. Though.
I've asked you a lot.
All the
yeah.
time.
And
You know what I
that's-
say?
Did you? I thought you came this season though.
No, he
No, I didn't come
Oh,
this
he
He
season.
got
too
invited
busy
every
to-
time,
Yeah, I
but
got
he never
invited
came.
Too busy.
I got invited the entire
you probably got
season
invites
to
from,
fish
like,
on the boat.
You
But I
probably
couldn't
got
make it.
invites from the guys on Surreal, and you got Art.
Yeah,
you
no,
got all
100%,
of us.
100%.
So
you know what I
all
mean?
together, he got more invites than you and I got this year.
You should definitely
And he's
start.
still bitching. That's the thing that I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying.
Really.
Yeah.
You got to take people up on their offer.
We're not
you know
here
what?
for a long
Here's what
time,
I've
bro.
learned.
Charlie
Here for a good
Levine told
time.
me this. Well,
Then
probably
he
what you're
died.
going to tell me. Eventually, they're going to stop asking.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
You have to take people up on their offer. They're asking you to
Dude.
come for a reason,
Mhm.
and eventually you
But,
say no
but
enough.
the
that's
business is in a spot where
Yeah.
I'm able to do it now. So
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
good, dude. And I remember
But
you.
that
like,
was hard going through that though, to build it to that.
Dude.
You know,
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
and to be like to make the sacrifice to be
Yeah.
like, I can't. No, I can't.
4
You know what I mean?
years ago. I remember
Yeah.
what it was like for you.
Yeah.
Like, so congratulations. Good job. Pretty work, buddy.
Yay!
Yeah. Well, I mean, happy about it. Yeah,
It's
but-
still going, but
yeah.
yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah.
if you can, like, little accomplishments, enjoy them all. So,
Carlene's a good
Well-
job, buddy.
yeah.
Golf clap.
Golf clap.
No, man. What are we talking about now?
I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know.
Because here's
Jen
the thing.
Copeland,
No, there's nothing.
master
else to say.
angler.
Yeah, right.
No, nah, she's been great. Like we're fortunate. She's been with us for the past 3 sailfish seasons, and we had another guy named Greg Bogdan, who everybody knows down here in South Florida, who runs permitted sport fishing charters out of Sailfish Marina.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone needs a good charter, day charter out of Sailfish, he's a great guy to contact. You should have him here too.
What I do
He
want
would
to
be
ask,
entertaining.
actually,
I was thinking why he wasn't.
Why he should be here right
there
now.
there is
actually.
one thing I do want to ask Jen.
Okay.
Right, we have to ask her the question
Oh God.
that we ask everybody on the show.
Okay.
Right?
I'm afraid now.
No, don't be afraid.
I don't think they've even asked me this. I've been here 6 times.
I've asked you this.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
If I haven't asked you this, you need to answer it. That's for sure.
Okay.
Been waiting for
Maybe
me to
should-
get here to answer.
Maybe you
first.
should ask him first.
What's
No.
your? No, I'll ask you first. What's your one that got away? Everyone's
yeah.
got one.
Oh, I do have one.
Yeah, you got one. Everyone's got one.
Yeah. So it was like a day dropping swordfish. Me and my friend were out. I believe either it was on July 4th or it was,
It's always the holidays.
I know. But I'm thinking, because I do have a July 4th story, but I might have been mixing them up. But just don't ruin the good story with
Go
the
ahead.
truth. Let's
Go
start
ahead.
this.
All right.
Okay,
all right.
so July 4th, me and my friend Eric Charles Landis going sword fishing. I'm like, oh, it's July 4th. Let's drop it in 1776.
Come on.
1776.
The
Go-
bicentennial.
Yeah,
You did
Yeah.
not.
absolutely did.
That is poetic.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Because we were like, oh, where are we going to drop? You know, so-and-so's got bites here, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, 1776, July 4th, let's, whatever. Drop it down there. Wasn't 5 minutes. And we had a bite coming up, come all the way up. Nothing happened. Take the lead off. As soon as we take the lead off, the fish bolts all the way to the bottom. And now my friend's on the rod. I'm driving the boat. He's like, I think something happened because it feels like the lead is stuck in the bottom. I'm like, well, the lead is off. So there's no way that's possible. The next thing I know, probably I don't even know how far it was.
It was over there.
The fish is in front of us,
Mm-hmm.
jumping north of 400 pounds, fighting for another like 3.5 hours, whatever. On the electric, my friend's getting very, very, it's getting late, thunderstorms, blah, blah, blah. He starts like palming the spool, right? And we're already
do
like
that.
almost 4 hours into this fight. Bye-bye.
Touch the spool.
Well, it was just
You
too
never
much.
saw the
Yeah.
fish?
Oh, no, we saw it. It was
Fuck.
jumping.
Yeah, you saw it.
Oh,
jumping.
yeah, jumping. No lead. Massive. Well, we called it north of 400 pounds. I mean,
Right.
it was a big sword.
That's at least 776 pounds.
Well, maybe
That's
not.
what I was thinking. I'm like 17. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was sad. And we were really, really good friends, too. And I'm like, Eric, stop. Like, don't do that. Whatever. No, we got to get him up, blah, blah, blah. Gloves on, the whole 9 yards. I'm like, oh, geez. And then the
It's
whole
heartbreaker.
12
Left
miles home, it was like not a word was spoken.
No.
And I don't think we spoke for like 2 weeks after that. But after that, we sort of like,
yeah.
we made
So
it.
you're feeling that you could have got that one.
It's possible.
I'm not a. Yeah, don't touch the spool.
Don't touch the spool.
Don't
touch the spool. Don't touch the line. Don't tighten the
drag.
drag.
Let the drag do the work. Let the
Don't
rod
tighten the
do
drag.
work.
Don't touch the spool. Don't
drive
tighten
the
the line.
boat right. Keep it
Yep.
tight.
I mean, I get
That's
it though. I mean, we were like almost 4 hours into a fight,
Yeah.
right? He's like starting to get dark, like blah blah blah.
When do you start?
But the fish is really big.
The fish is.
Yeah,
He was
a lot of times the
That's
fish is
all that
really
matters.
big, dude.
I don't really care. The fish is really big.
When do you start?
I can ask for forgiveness.
Not on that one. That was still swimming
No,
around.
I mean to whoever I'll be
Yeah.
holding to on land that needs me
Right.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's different with sword fishing, but when in a fight do you start doubting the tackle? I'm always keeping track of the clock, and I always kind of 30 minutes and 1 hour and then 2 hours, and then I'm like, because like it just the tackle depending on the weight and the like 50-pound fighting a marlin. How long is it till you start doubting the tackle?
I mean, if it's hooked right, you shouldn't have.
If it's hooked right,
you shouldn't
yeah.
have to doubt the tackle.
See, I'm like an hour and a half guy. Like an hour and a half. I'm
Let's
like,
get it
all right,
done.
let's get this stuff. Let's get it here. Because we
Yeah.
had a couple incidents in the Bahamas where we're creeping up on an hour with an angler he does a great job and he's just starting to learn. Like
Mhm.
it's been his first few times out with us. And I told him, I was like, finally I basically turned the boat, backed up the drag, let the fish come up, cut him off at the pass, and like he started jumping, and we were like he was 100 yards out here, and I had the boat pointed at him. I was like, all right, I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
And he's pointed out the back corner, he's reeling the bow in, and I spun the boat 30 yards from where he was jumping. I was like, all right, now reel, just to get the release, because we were in a tournament.
Sure.
Dude, that thing sank back down to the bottom. We were into him for another hour. That was like, on the video you can hear me like
Really?
because
Did
he was struggling. Like he was struggling, and I don't blame him because it was his first time, I think, getting stretched out on. We had a 300-pounder on a 25, and it was his first time. And
You're like, we've got to get this done.
yeah, but we got him. We released him, just under 2 hours.
Just as a side note, Carlene is absolutely the best bartender on the planet.
Did I
Because
not serve you?
Every time I
Every-
look down, there's like a full drink.
I know. She
And
brought
I,
me,
You
ne-
went
I
to the
never
she
big
brought me a
know.
bigger cup now that I
I
slowed
never
I
down.
know.
know.
I didn't know it either.
Right at the
Side
end of the
note.
episode, I swear to God, I never know how many I've had. Because I'm like, it just keeps full. It's just like
It's almost
the whole
time for more wings.
Did you
only
answer the
Shut
one that
up.
got away?
No.
What was your? Do you remember your one that got away question?
I don't remember it. I definitely answered
Was
it.
it a walleye?
No, it's not a walleye.
No.
Catching
No.
walleye
Crappie?
I had
by the
a,
dark.
I mean, I had a
Crappie,
swordfish.
catfish.
I had a swordfish story off of we left out of Danny Beach Cutoff Canal. It was night timing. This was probably 20 years ago, and we went out off of Hallandale Beach. We hooked a big one. We had an 80 TLD. Remember the old, old. Well,
It's not like pitching a 130 though.
no,
On a bent butt.
enough.
I know.
We burned it up after 2 hours, and we had a 50 TLD. I tie a bimini in the 50 TLD. We get as much back from that thing. Tie it off on there. We fight it for another 3 hours, and gone.
Ugh.
Gone.
Went home at like 3 a.m. Like,
The best thing that ever happened in my life was day dropping.
yeah, no. And I have like my crowd on my boat. I'll hear it from sometimes the boss and other people are like, we should go out all night fishing.
No, we shouldn't.
And I'm like, why? Like, what's the point?
Right.
Like, that's done. Like, we can go out there. We can be home for dinner.
That's done.
That's done. That's done. And then sometimes I hear some of the guys. I had some mates in the past that, and not to say nothing, like, because I commercial fished mahi, I commercial fish snapper. I've done a bit of commercial fishing. By far, I am not a commercial fisherman. I did a little bit of it. Okay.
You don't like
But
it.
sometimes the mates nowadays, they get this thing in their head, like commercial is so hardcore. They want to do it. They want to go out and do it. And they'll bring up like, we should go buoy fish for them. I'm like, bro, like, what?
I like your commercial fisherman. I'm like, let's go some buoy fishing.
Let's go buoy fishing.
Automatically
Let's
changes.
go.
It's like Jen's like, hey y'all, and he's like, let's go buoy fishing.
You've heard
You
it
know?
before.
I
You've
just
heard
did.
that.
I just did.
I guarantee you have had a conversation.
It's like
All of
taco
a
off
sudden they
ADOC.
went hardcore.
Did you say that?
And it's like,
Get in your
listen,
own little center console
My
and
hat,
go then.
my hat is off to
It's like they all
commercial
sing in
fishermen.
unison. We are commercial fishermen.
Fucking cans of spinach on the deck.
Dude.
I get it.
Bunch of private boat, custom boat guys wearing Wanchese trawl hoodies and acting like they're hardcore. It's like, no, leave the Wanchese hoodies for the guys that are hardcore. Because I know those guys, and they are. They're missing fingers.
Yeah.
Those guys are hardcore.
And teeth.
Dude, I'm not.
Whatever. The
No,
shit
he's
is
just
dangerous.
swallowing them. He still has them. Don't let him lie to you. I can see his smile from here.
When I pass a
You think
stone.
your tooth is probably hanging out somewhere with like this pieces of corn
the
with
magic
the marlin.
corn from Mike. He
Corn
can't
beads.
figure it. They were both yellow, so he's
They're
trying to
all gonna
figure
find
out
your-
which one
when they
was
find
what.
the corn
It was
beads,
a
they're going to
really-
find your tooth right next
that
to
was
it.
an expensive tooth. It was white.
Stop.
That was a new one. You're right. You're
It
right.
was
My bad.
fake and new.
All right. Have we fallen off the rails completely?
Yes,
No, not
completely.
yet.
Yes,
You're
completely.
welcome.
Completely.
No, so I get a kick out of that with the young guys. They're like, I was like, they aspire to do. I was like, have you ever done that? No. Okay. I never, dude. I chase
man.
blue marlins and bluefin tuna and get to catch a swordfish once in a while, and I'm very happy about that.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good, dude.
It's a young man's game, man.
It is a young man's game.
It's like
It
a
is.
rapper, right?
I know nothing about being a rapper.
No, it's like I'm saying it's
Thank
like no,
No,
I'm
he
saying,
doesn't wish he was a little bit taller or a baller.
I was a baller.
Or had a
All
shock.
right, I'm gonna
And
pay-
he's
I'm gonna
super
pay for that
taller.
comment.
Dude.
Now we're off the rails.
You guys are brutal.
Nah, we're not that
I'm sorry, that was Dennis's song.
Shit. I'm coming over here to kick your ass.
Make me a drink, would you? It's like, Jesus.
It's about all I can reach.
Oh my god, dude.
All right, we're gonna go.
All right, man. This was fun.
Well, listen, I'd like to personal message to the
Thank you,
audience. Listen to
Glenn.
this episode. Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all.
And we're sorry.
Thank you. Come again.
Give it up for Jen Copeland.
Oh, God.
Thank you. Coming in.
My daughter's back there going. Blah, 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 blah. I love her.
Oh my God.
Oh, dude. You think the toll road's busy right now?
This is how you know it was a good episode.
What time is it?
I love Jen is like we're like 20 minutes into it. She's like looking at her watch. She's like, the hell is this? The hell did I agree to? All right, listen, Jen. No, seriously though, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Dennis.
Thank you for
Appreciate it.
finally coming on the show
You're
and
welcome.
being with us and hanging out and just drinking a little rum and I don't know. Thanks for not bringing me wings, John.
Next
Loser.
time. I'll bring you wings next time.
Next time.
Next time, I'll bring them. We need to get a bruise room.
He didn't think I was going to be
Yeah.
here. That's why he didn't bring him. See?
Yeah.
No, I've had listen. I woke up at 4 a.m. in Michigan, and I'm here right
I've had a rough day.
now.
I've had a rough day.
All right.
All good.
Thank you very much, Papa's Raw Bar, for I don't know, being our friends and being our official
For
restaurant.
not providing any.
They're not providing any food for us today. No.
Oh, gosh. The crew's
I'm gonna say
dying.
thanks for Papa's Raw Bar. They're part of our Connected by Water
Yeah, man.
family.
Where's the
Papa's Pilar.
How much? Who brought the drunk kid?
I'm not drunk. I'm not.
Never be a spectator.
Look at her over there. Thank you to Joey Cardi Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram for being an awesome sponsor, and thank you for Papa's Raw Bar for being an awesome sponsor. Thank you for Papa's Pilar Rum for being an awesome sponsor. Thank you to W Sauce for being an awesome sponsor. Your ego is
did.
not
You
your
brought the
amigo.
drunk list.
Always do your best and remember to let God do the rest and do not ever forget that no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, Carlene is not connected by water.
It's Pilar.
Thank you for
Amen.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Good night.
You too.
Night.